Lovely. Welcome back, everyone. It is me, your host, Usmaan. Welcome back to the Ball Knowledge Podcast. We have been away for a while. I do know this. We apologize. We know your favorite podcast took a giant break. But we are back. Well, I'm back for the first episode of our return. We had a lot of uni work to do, as you know, us being final year students. So we took a break. We should have said, but we're back. There are some changes. Obviously, I'm doing this first podcast, but MK will be back. Azam will be back here and there, but Azam is taking a step back from being on the podcast and is going to focus on making content on TikTok and editing videos. Because exciting news, we're expanding our podcast videos from now on. As you know, we talked about before, we were originally going to do like the story of type thing for Liverpool Barcelona, but then we got into trouble with BT Sport and they kept copyright claiming our videos, so we had to change it up a bit. So the first story of video will be the story of that one night in Istanbul, the greatest Champions League final of all time between Liverpool and AC Milan. Other than that, I have two exciting videos coming out that I'm sure you'll love, talking about first Pep's comments about Liverpool and the media, and I'll go through Liverpool's history with the media of England, and what I'm titling the England problem, where I talk about the problem with the English media and English people overrating young and just usual players. I think it's a huge problem that we have to talk about. It's kind of talked about, but it's sort of like diminished, like, oh, you're just being hypercritical about it or whatever. I think it's a genuine topic to talk about because it's a big issue. Anyways, today's episode is just a roundup of everything sort of that has happened in sport since the last time we filmed. And what I'll be kicking off with is football. As per usual, that's how we started off the podcast, that's how we'll carry it on. Well, the seasons are finished. We're in Nation League type place now. Pre-season's going to start at the 1st of July. Right now, all the seasons are finished. And what an incredible season it was. It was thoroughly enjoyable, all parts of it. We'll start off with league winners and European places. In France, no surprise, PSG were crowned champions again. Finishing in the Champions League spaces with PSG, Marseille was an incredible last game of the season. I believe it was at home to Nice. I can't remember the exactly what happened, but it was incredible. Maybe I'll talk about it next time with MK. Maybe. And AS Monaco finished in Champions League places. In the Europa League, Rennes finished in Europa League spots. And then for the Conference League qualifying, Nice. Nice and Lyon were both deducted points because of crowd trouble earlier in the season, I believe. Lyon missed out on qualification, but Lyon now are linked with Alexander Lacazette from Arsenal. He's going back. Germany, again, no surprise, Bayern Munich were crowned champions. Finishing in the Champions League places with Dortmund, Leverkusen and Leipzig. In the Europa League places, Union Berlin, Freiburg, and the Conference League places, Cologne. Surprisingly, Europa League winners, Frankfurt, finished 15th. But they're playing in the Champions League next season, so I don't think they care. In Spain, Real Madrid were crowned champions, finishing in the in Champions League places, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and Sevilla. In the Europa League, Real Betis and Real Sociedad. And in the Conference League, Villarreal, which they will be a force in next season. That's no joke. Italy came down to the final day between AC and Inter Milan, and AC Milan were crowned champions. An incredible season for AC Milan. After giving PSG, Donnarumma, Milan stepped up really fucking well for them this season. With, I think, 16 or 17 clean sheets. Incredible season for him, just getting the starting job. Finishing in the Champions League places, Inter Milan, Napoli and Juventus. In the Europa League places, Lazio and Conference League winners Roma. And in the Conference League qualification bit, Fiorentina. Now I will add about the Italian league, the Serie A. Salintara? I might be butchering that. I can't remember the name exactly off my head, but incredible scenes. Going into April, they were 7 points away from safety, and they won, or they were unbeaten in 8 games to save themselves. Brilliant scenes. You love to see it. And then finally finishing up in England. In the Premier League, it did go down to the final day, but Manchester City won the league by a single point above Liverpool. Chelsea came second, and Tottenham got the Champions League places after Arsenal bottled 2 games. One really big one being the Newcastle game. What a showing for Newcastle, but Arsenal is missing out on the Champions League places they held for so long. Finishing in Europa League with Arsenal, Manchester United, and West Ham finishing in the Conference League place. West Ham were heartbroken this season not to win the Europa League, losing to Frankfurt, I believe it was, in the semi-finals after they beat Barcelona. Frankfurt did go on to win it, but sadly, West Ham dropped to the Conference League place. I believe they lost on the final day. Manchester United won. No, they didn't. Manchester United lost, but West Ham also lost. Manchester United lost to Crystal Palace. What a showing for Palace. Palace, I did say at the start of the season, Palace were my surprise of the season. I think I stand by that. They were fucking brilliant this season. Obviously, there were games here and there where they should have finished. The Brighton game at Selhurst Park, they should have finished. The Arsenal game at the Emirates, they should have finished and seen it through and won both those games. But I like the way Palace are going. Obviously, Gala's going back to Chelsea now, which is a big loss for Palace. But given who they're linked with, I believe, at the moment in the transfer window, I think Palace will be really good next season, especially under Vieira. What a season for Vieira. They got to an FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. Relegated from the Premier League. Burnley got relegated. Everton stayed up incredibly after coming back from 2-0 down at half-time against Crystal Palace at Goodison. They won 3-2. I hate Everton. We all know this. I talked a lot about how Everton get relegated. But it was incredible. Richarlison really stepped up for them, who I hate Richarlison, but the team really stepped up and they beat Palace. Incredible scenes at Goodison Park. I'm not going to complain about fans running onto the pitch. It's stupid, but I'm not going to complain about fans running on the pitch. Although you can't go after Vieira. Why would you go after Vieira? That one fan, you ruined the whole thing because you look like an idiot trying to fight Vieira or pissing off Vieira, and he kicked you when you dropped. You fucking idiot. But yeah, Burnley got relegated. Watford got relegated and Norwich got relegated again. Coming up from the Championship, Fulham won the league. Bournemouth came second. Bournemouth I have high hopes for next season. Not that they are going to win the league or whatever, but to stay up, I think out of those 3, I'm going to give it to Bournemouth because they look really good under Parker. And then coming through the playoffs, Nottingham Forest are back in the Premiership. And you love to see it. Incredible scenes when they beat Sheffield United at Nottingham, in Nottingham even, on penalties. Samba really stepped up for them, and they beat Huddersfield. It was controversial, but they did win. There should have been a penalty for Huddersfield, but they got their taste of Premiership VAR with Premiership referees. You know how that's gonna go. Now, European Cup winners. Earlier in the season, if you go back to our predictions video, I predicted Roma, Rangers, and Liverpool to win all 3 European competitions. Roma did win the Conference League, beating Feyenoord 1-0 with Zaniolo goal. Zaniolo, 22 years old, brilliant player for Roma. The Europa League, Frankfurt beat Rangers on penalties. 1-1 in full time, 5-4 on penalties. Aaron Ramsey, on loan from Juventus, missing the penalty for Rangers, the only penalty they missed, with a really crap penalty as well. I hated it because I really wanted Rangers to win, but it was a crap penalty. And now he's going back to Juventus to earn 400k a week, something like that. Ridiculous. And then Champions League, sadly, Liverpool faltered at the finishing line, losing 1-0 to a Vinicius Junior goal to Real Madrid, who are now on their 14th Champions League. We did talk about it a bit. You can't count out Real Madrid. As bad as you may think a Real Madrid team is, once they're in the Champions League, you cannot count them out. And Don Carlo What a guy. He's such a good manager. I think he's won the most Champions Leagues of any manager now, I believe. Brilliant manager. We will talk about Liverpool season. If MK was here, we could talk about Manchester United season, but that would take up at least half an hour of our time going through everyone that should be gone, what Ten Hag should do now, why Ranić fucked off so quickly. But I'll talk about Liverpool season. I will stand by. I think it was a great season, regardless of the fact it did end really disappointingly, missing out on the league by a point and losing Champions League by a single goal. But it was a disappointing end to a really good season, a fucking great season, one of the best seasons I've seen being a Liverpool fan. 63 games is no joke for any team, and Liverpool did 63 games. We won the Carabao Cup, we won the FA Cup, 2 titles that eluded Klopp at his time at Liverpool. We didn't win the Premiership, but I feel good about our chances next season. We didn't win the Champions League, but again, I feel really good about our chances next season. Courtois, though, I can't not talk about the Champions League final without talking about Courtois. What a fucking player. 9 saves in the final to keep Real Madrid in, to win it for Real Madrid effectively. He thoroughly deserved the man of the match. Fucking great performance by Courtois. He just looked like a brick wall all game. The way he ran across the goal line to stop Salah's shot on the near post when he was on the other side of the goal, brilliant. Hardly any keeper does that. They stand on the other side and just wait to see the ball go in. He ran across. He knew it was on the line. Clutch performance by Courtois. I know people are going to take the piss out of it, but I like the trophy parade. I think it was really good to have the trophy parade the day after Champions League final, only because we were all feeling so low afterwards. To see the team come out and celebrate what they did do this season, while we didn't win everything, the fact that they went the whole way and gave us that belief is what's so magic about this Liverpool team. And we talked about it before. We talk about what Klopp's done with this team. He took a shit team and made us believers. He made doubters into believers, is the whole slogan. And it's completely true. I don't think, if you look a decade ago, 10 years ago, it was 2012. The 11-12 season was Liverpool's worst season in the Premier League, in all points total-wise. 10 years ago, no one would believe that in 10 years' time, Liverpool would be battling for a quadruple. Obviously, we didn't get near the quadruple because we didn't win the Premiership and Champions League. But if you told me 10 years ago, in 10 years' time, Liverpool would be battling for the quadruple, I'd slap you in the face. Simple as. It was an incredible season. It hurts, but I'm proud of the team. It's simple as that. Obviously, you get people saying, oh yeah, but you didn't win anything important. I think it's fine, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, because Klopp's won it now. He's completed world football. Obviously, in terms of like the Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, and all the smaller cups like the Club World Cup and stuff like that, he's completed it. Brilliant manager. I'm very optimistic about next season. Very, very optimistic about next season. I've been saying for about 5 or 6 years now, in 2023, because I believe it was, at the time, it was Klopp's last season, I said we will win the quadruple, and I'm going to stand by that. I think we're doing it next season, and I really hope this doesn't come back to bite me in the arse, but I'm not going to put money in it, because it's haram, and I'm a Muslim. But I will happily say I believe Liverpool will win the quadruple next season. Well, moving on from Liverpool. Transfer news. The transfer window is sort of underway, hasn't officially started yet, but teams have been going at it. Biggest news, Haaland to Manchester City has been completed. It's 52 to Dortmund, but because of agent fees and everything else, it rises to like 100 and something, which is ridiculous money. Fucking ridiculous money. Then Mbappe signed a mega contract with PSG. A mega contract. Like, it is ridiculous how much money he's earning. And he's sort of been giving so much power at PSG that allegedly there is a list of players that he wants gone, and Neymar's on that list. And Poch is on his way out soon. They just had to find a manager to take over. It was rumoured that they were going to go after Mourinho. But I think Mourinho wants to stay at Roma because he's been doing a brilliant job there. Going into the we'll talk about Premier League teams, Manchester City, but talking about like the London teams, Arsenal looking to get Gabriel Jesus for 50 million. which is great. Nketiah did sign a new contract after we were believing that he was leaving. Lacazette is on his way out, as I mentioned before, going back to Lyon, and we know Aubameyang's gone. Gabriel Jesus is a really, really tidy piece of business for Arsenal. It might be I know people will say, "Oh, it's a step down for Jesus, who's playing Champions League football, now he's playing Europa League football," but he's Arsenal's main man now, or will be Arsenal's main man, given they get over the line. I believe Guendouzi is on his way out, so they'll get more money there. And someone that I think is sort of on the line to leave, Saliba. Now that Marseille have Champions League football, I don't see Saliba coming back to Arsenal, but I don't see Arsenal being too ready to sell him that easily. It'd take a big bid from Marseille to keep him. Tottenham. A few weeks ago, news came out that Tottenham found, have 150 million to spend at a transfer window, which is ridiculous money. They'll get the Kulusevski deal over the line. They signed Ivan Perisic, which is great for Tottenham, and they linked with players like Bastoni, and I really like how Tottenham look coming into next season. They're going to be a force, and I think they're probably the underdogs going into the championship picture. Conte can win it. With the team that he has, and how they were free scoring goals later on in the season when Kulusevski came in, they beat Man City twice, they drew twice to Liverpool, they finished in the Champions League spots. I feel good about Tottenham. And Chelsea, well, last time we talked to you, Chelsea's owner was still Abramovich, but they hadn't sold it yet. They do have new owners now, Todd Bowley, the American. I've been talking to Chelsea fans. They said if he does what he's been saying that he's going to do, then they have a really good chance of being competitive next season. I think Lukaku might be on the way out, because they've been talking about Lukaku being on the way out. But if Inter Milan don't have the money, then he's going to stay. And Inter Milan just got Dybala. Or close to getting Dybala even. A lot of Chelsea's defence is either gone or rumoured to be going. Rudiger's gone to Real Madrid. Alonso's on his way out. Azpilicueta's on his way out. Who else? Thiago Silva's there. But then now they have Reece James, Chalobah, Thiago Silva still, Chilwell's coming back. So they do have really good defensive pieces, but Rudiger's a big, big miss because he was so good for Chelsea last season. And then they get players coming back like Conor Gallagher. They can call back Ampadu if they need to. Chelsea, good. I'm going to make a bold statement here. I don't see Thomas Tuchel being Chelsea manager going into the 23-24 season. I think something's going to happen along the next year or so, and he's going to go. Either he gets sacked or he quits, but something will happen that Tuchel won't be manager. In terms of Liverpool, Milner recently signed a new contract. He took a significant wage cut, which I'm fine with. I know a lot of Liverpool fans, like Aslam, we were like, I don't know why we re-signed Milner, but it is what it is, I guess. Naby Keita looks like he's getting a new contract. I thought there were rumours of him being sold this year, but I'm happy about that. Obviously, there was that one shot in the Champions League final that I don't want to talk about, but I'm fine with Naby Keita's thing. I think he's been great this season. It's his breakout season for Liverpool after so many years of bad injuries after injuries after injuries and not getting in the team. It's great. Other than that, Origi's on his way out. I think they announced that Origi and Karius are all on the way out. Elijah Dixon-Bonner is gone, which I thought he was one of the bigger stars in the academy, but he's leaving it this year. Ben Woodburn's leaving. He played for Liverpool here and there, but never stuck in. One big piece of transfer news came out. Sadio Mane looks like he's on his way out of Liverpool. Now, he's linked with Bayern Munich, but Liverpool allegedly have already rejected 2 bids from Bayern Munich because they haven't met the 40 million evaluation. And people are going on like, oh, but Mane's not worth 40 million. Bayern Munich are... I know Mane's 30 years old. Lewandowski's quite old as well. And they're valuing him at a crazy price too. So, you can't really... Unless they're waiting for Lewandowski to be sold to Barca, and then they bring in Mane. Because then with the Mane money, allegedly, we are getting Darwin Núñez from Benfica, who lit up the Champions League this season. He's linked with Manchester United. Apparently they're going to start a bidding war with us, but it looks like we've agreed personal terms to him for 5 years. 200 something thousand a week. Other than that, we've got Carvalho from Fulham, and it looks like we're going to get Calvin Ramsey from Aberdeen, the right back, for about 4 million. So a good piece of business. Manchester United. It's confusing. It's very confusing. Pogba's on his way out. Lingard's on his way out. Mata's on his way out. They got like 17 players leaving or something, which they needed to do. They needed to shed the dead wood, which is kind of bad said by Pogba, but I've said it before and I'll say again, Pogba sort of, he was hit and miss at sometimes for Manchester United. I know MK is happy he's on his way out, so is Christian, but we'll see what happens. Manchester United linked with Frankie de Jong. I don't know what the chance of that happening is, but we'll see. I have some hope in Ten Hag. I like Ten Hag as a manager, but I don't want to see Man United be good again. I hate Manchester United. Yeah, that's as much transfer news as I know at the moment. We will talk about more coming into the next few weeks. On to basketball. If you didn't know at the moment, the NBA Finals is happening. Between Boston, who beat Miami in Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals to get to the Finals, and the Golden State Warriors, who beat the Dallas Mavericks 4-1 in the Western Conference Finals. Which was incredibly surprising that the Mavs got there, because they beat the Phoenix Suns, the winningest team in the NBA. The Suns just looked out of it. I don't know if it's Chris Paul didn't look very good. Luka looked on fire. Luka's got no help at the Mavs, and it's annoying me to see. I know I'm a Houston fan, but I love Luka Doncic. He is fucking great. Anyway, about the NBA Finals. Last night, Celtics took the lead 2-1 with a win at TD Gardens. I think Celtics going to win it. 6 games was what I said, but it could be 7. I don't think it's... I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to Game 7, but at the moment I don't think it will go to Game 7. I think Boston win both games at TD Garden, so they go 3-1 up, and then they go back to Chase Center. I think they win the second game there, so Game 6, but they're losing Game 5, sorry, because Game 4 would be tomorrow night, I believe. Yeah, I think Celtics are going to win it. They looked great last night. Draymond Green, when MK's back on, I will let him talk to you lot about Draymond Green. He hates him. He fucking hates him. Other basketball news. The MVP was announced and all the other awards. MVP, Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, back-to-back winner. Rookie of the Year, Scotty Barnes from the Toronto Raptors. I think he got injured in the playoffs against the 76ers, which is sad to see, but he had a great season. Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart of the Boston Celtics. 6th Man of the Year, Tyler Hero, Miami Heat. I think that one was sort of unanimous. Everyone knew that was going to happen. Most Improved Player was Ja from Memphis. Memphis did put together sort of a run in the playoffs. They beat Minnesota, but a lot of back and forth between Ja and Cat really made them look annoying in the spotlight. It was so stupid. And Coach of the Year, Monty Williams from the Phoenix Suns. Now, there was some controversy surrounding the All-NBA team. The All-NBA team was Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum, Giannis, and Jokic. The controversy comes in that number 2 in the list, or number 2 in the MVP rankings, Embiid, didn't make the first team and made the second team instead, which shouldn't make sense. Now, there was a lot of discussion about if the All-NBA team is even useful anymore, considering the centers are playing, or the centers are taking over the game, or the big men are taking over the game. But the NBA have been having discussions internally about making it positionless, which I think might work, but at the same time, it's sort of taking away from the fact that it's supposed to be the best team in the NBA, like made up of the best players from their positions. But I can understand the controversy around it, so I'm not going to complain about it. I'll talk more about the NBA with Azam and MK when they come on, because it's sort of one-sided when I'm talking about it. And MK has the worst, literally, MK has the worst takes of anyone I've ever met about NBA. Now we'll move on to baseball. I did say I'm going to go over everything. At the moment, the Yankees are top of the American League. The Astros follow them. Then the Twins, the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Sox. In the National League, the Mets are leading at the moment. The Mets are really good this year. They beat the Dodgers last Saturday. Dodgers follow them in second. Third place Brewers, fourth place Padres, fifth Cardinals, and sixth the San Francisco Giants, with a better record than the Atlanta Braves, the current World Series holders. So it's still early days in the baseball, but it's heating up already. Now it's going to heat up over the summer. Now that we're in June, July, August, September, 3 months left till the playoffs, it's going to start heating up now, and then there's an all-star break in between. In tennis, yeah, look at me, I'm going into tennis. Nadal just won his 14th French Open, beating Djokovic. He's too good at Roland Garros. He's too good. Wimbledon's coming up next. It's sort of faltered in its importance, only because of the ban of Russian and Belarus players. The ATP were like, okay, well, your rankings don't count anymore then, so no ranking change will happen at Wimbledon this year. But it's still Wimbledon. It's still one of the big four. I'd love to see Federer win it again, but I doubt it. I think his body's giving up on him now, which is sad to say. But it is what it is, I guess. That's just life, isn't it, everyone? It's just life. You get older, your body's going to give up, especially when you're playing as excruciating sport as he's playing. It does take a physical toll on you. Zverev, I hope he gets well soon. He had a nasty injury against Nadal in the semi-finals of the French Open. I think he broke his ankle, tore some tendons, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he left on a wheelchair. I wish him the very best. Into the NFL. On Monday, Aaron Donald of the Super Bowl champions LA Rams got the biggest contract for a non-QB player, $95 million a year, or $95 million till 2024, $31.6 million a year. I think he's just earning less than Carson Wentz at the moment. Yesterday, Cooper Kupp got, I think, one of the largest extensions for a wide receiver, which he deserves. He was a great player last season for them. I think he's one of the most shockingly great players for them last season. I remember a few seasons ago when they got to the Super Bowl last time against the Patriots. I remember Kupp was there. He was always a great threat in the red zone, which he was still this season. He was a great threat going down the field as well. He's got great hands to catch the ball. He moves really fast. He's got great physicality. You'll love to see it. I don't love to see it. I'm a 49ers fan, but it is weird. Other than that, no contract for Deebo Samuel yet from the 49ers. He did show up at the mandatory off-season training activities, although we did cancel the final day. I'm not sure why. I guess we saw what we needed to see. The off-season officially, as in pre-season, starts in August, I believe. I think it starts off with Jacksonville versus someone in the Hall of Fame game. Other than that, the draft came and went. The top three picks, Trayvon Walker to the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I think was surprising because everyone had Aiden Hutchinson going first, but he went second to his hometown Detroit Lions. So I wish him the very best luck. And third place went Derek Stingley Jr. to the New York Jets. I think the Jets arguably had the best draft out of everyone. They drafted really, really well. I won't go into specifics because I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but the Jets did draft really fucking well. Opening game of the season, they'd announced Buffalo at Los Angeles, which is a fucking tantalizing game. Buffalo did did sign Von Miller over the offseason from the LA Rams because he didn't extend himself. Odell Beckham Jr. hasn't signed with a team yet. It looks likely that he's going to re-sign with the Rams, but at the moment he doesn't have a team yet. I think because of his injury, teams are like not trying to get him yet until they know that he's fine effectively, but we'll see. He was really good for the Rams last season. It was a great purchase for them, so we'll see where he goes from here. Any team would love to have Odell Beckham Jr., I believe. International games this season coming to London: Minnesota at New Orleans Saints, New York Giants at Green Bay, and Denver at Jacksonville. How fun. Devontae Adams left the Packers this season. I think we might have touched on it earlier on this year. He's gone to Oakland to play with his college teammate, Derek Carr. Derek Carr, I think, might not be Oakland quarterback for too long. That's just some speculation, but apparently they gave Colin Kaepernick a workout to become backup quarterback there. I'm not sure where Mariota is at the moment. I thought he was a backup quarterback, but Kaepernick's better than Mariota, so why not? In Mexico, San Francisco at Arizona. That's going to be good. And then the first time the NFL is being played in Germany, Seattle at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay got Tom Brady back. He unretired, which wasn't a surprise to anyone. He wasn't going to retire. Seattle did get rid of, or didn't get rid of, but traded away Russell Wilson to Denver. Denver are going to be a surprise package. The AFC West, I know we talked about the NFC West last season, but the AFC West this year is stacked. There's 4 teams that could potentially be really fucking good. Also, Denver got, I think the Walmart heiress or something bought Denver Broncos the other day, and so they had a takeover, which means more money. Yeah, good for Tampa. Good for Denver. The AFC West looks crazy. 4 great quarterbacks, and Colin Kaepernick. The Chiefs still look good. Mahomes. The Chargers look great. I think they just need to work on their running defense, because that's where they faltered in the playoffs. Denver Broncos, we know now, Russell Wilson. And Oakland did good business. I can't wait to see what Devontae Adams does. I don't like Oakland, but I want to see how well they do. And in Thanksgiving games, Buffalo at Detroit, so Detroit are going to lose again. New York at Dallas, and the New England Patriots at Minnesota. Minnesota, I'm surprised they didn't draft a quarterback. I don't see Kirk Cousins staying there past this year. They should try trade him, but I don't know who wants to pick up that contract, because they give him a big contract. And then finally, the Stanley Cup is almost coming to an end. The Colorado Avalanche beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-0. They swept them in the conference finals, and they'll face the winners of New York Rangers and Tampa Bay, which is currently 2-2. I'm enjoying the hockey playoffs. I think they're great. The St. Louis Blues got eliminated by the Colorado Avalanche in last round of the playoffs. There was a bunch of controversy with Nazem Kadri and the Blues keeper or goaltender, where they allegedly hurt him, but he was just going for the puck, I think. If I'm not wrong, Edmonton beat Calgary. They didn't sweep them, but they did beat Calgary, and it was a great playoff series. Now we would wait to see how New York and Tampa face each other, or how that ends up. So yeah, that's pretty much everything, I think. When Azam's back, when Azam or Miles come back, we might talk about movies. We have to talk about movies. I think so. We watched Doctor Strange, we watched Top Gun. Now currently we watched Stranger Things, and Kenobi is on at the moment. So we have we can expand our content a bit and talk about movies and TV shows, because there's a lot happening. The Boys just came back as well, and it's fucking disgusting, but it's fucking great. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, if you did watch this. We will be back soon. We'll be back again next week, and in the week after, and then I'm off on holiday, so the few weeks that I'm off on holiday will release content weekly. Hopefully Azam and NK can pick up some of the podcasts here and there and just talk about what's happening in the transfer window. But by the time I come back from holiday, we should be on for the new season. July 30th is the Carabao Cup, so before that we will get you your predictions. or our predictions. You love to see it. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back again very, very soon. Please, I'm going to be very, very generic here. Like, subscribe, please. We need the money. We want the money. Share it. Share the video. Give it to your friends, your family. Give it to your mum, your dad. Give it to your granddad. Maybe he wants to watch some random boy talk about sports on the internet. Who knows? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'll see you again.